Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Ohio.
The Indians jumped on the Tigers early and often, winning their 11th straight over their division rivals and expanding the lead in the Central to 7.5 games. Francisco Lindor became an All-Star and made a couple All-Star plays in the field as the Tribe made it 13 in a row at Progressive Field. Now Josh Tomlin looks to join All-Star Danny Salazar as a 10-game winner. So spit shine your shoes, it's time to go dancing next on Sports Time Ohio. It's a gorgeous, warm summer day in downtown Cleveland, Ohio, as the Indians look to stay perfect on the year against their Central Division rivals, the Detroit Tigers, here at Progressive Field. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Francisco Lindor and Danny Salazar both named to the American League All-Star team last night. And for Francisco Lindor, you think, Rick, he only has just about one full season of Major League action under his belt and already in the Midsummer Classic.
Well, he certainly doesn't act like it. The 22-year-old is the youngest to make it since Buddy Bell made it in 1973. And here's a big reason why. Not only offensively, but defensively, he has done everything he could possibly do. He makes plays look so easy. The sliding catch last night, the one-hop throw. And, you know, against the Detroit Tigers this year, the Indians 11-0. They're going for their fourth consecutive sweep. The numbers just continue to keep growing. Outscored them 77-24. They get the early lead. The starters, go out there and they deal, and they just continue to beat the Tigers.
Boy, the difference between starting ERAs, Cleveland and Detroit, is absolutely startling. And on the hill today will be Josh Tomlin, who's trying to become the sixth pitcher in the American League to get to the 10-win mark already.
Well, Josh only has one win in his last 5 starts, but it's not his fault. His ERA is in the mid-2s. In those 5 starts, they just haven't scored him a lot of runs, but he continues to go out there and deal. He's had his way with the Tigers this year, and Josh just continues to, keep rolling. We thought he had a chance to make the All-Star team, but he did not. He'll be matched up against a guy, the Tigers, probably their best pitcher on the season, 8-2, and in his last 8 starts, he's not allowed more than 1 earned run, and he is 6-1 in that span.
Josh Tomlin's a big reason why the Indians have dominated within the American League Central Division this year. He is 7-0 against Central Division opponents. We'll be back with today's first pitch. Plus, we'll check in with Andre Knott, who talks to Lonnie Chisenhall, the Tribe's hitman, coming off a 4-hit performance last night. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by WB Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by your local Toyota dealers, visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. still played from in front. Kinsler's on one bounce, goes to second for one.
Yes.
Goes to third. Lindor with the throw. Double play. Inning over. Sarbaugh's going to wave him home. Kinsler's throw. He is saved. He's out of room. It's out of here. Rizzo with a great stop. Goes to first. Got him. Oh, baby, what a play by the all-star shortstop. And we are ready now for the series finale today here at Progressive Field. As Josh Tomlin makes his way to the dugout, he'll be headed out to the center of the diamond to get us underway here shortly. Before that happens, let's go downstairs to Andre Knott with more on Lonnie Chisenhall, who's on fire right now.
He is on absolute fire. Last night, another 4-hit game. He's had 3 of those in the span of the last 10 games. We talked a little bit over the last few days and over the last couple of years with Lonnie Chisenhall about riding the roller coaster of ups and downs when he's at the plate. Right now, he's at a very good place. He likes how he's swinging the bat. And he's not just hitting the ball down the third baseline. He's driving the ball now from gap to gap. And Lonnie told me last night he finally feels like the player that he thought he was supposed to be for a long time. He wants to ride this as long as he can. Guys, he's had 3 4-hit games in the last 10 days. He's up as one of the top hitters in baseball. He's hitting over 400 in those last 10 games with 10 RBI that have been huge for the Indians, as he's had to move up a little bit in the order to help out and drive some runs in for the good guys.
No, that has been one of the keys to this team's success. Every man has been accountable. Everybody has pitched in.
And you know, once everybody feels a part of it, they take pressure off everybody else. And you know, Lonnie, you know, he was supposed to do this for a while. He had that one hot streak a couple of years ago where he took off. He had the big game where he hit the 3 homers, the 9 RBIs, and you know, he went down from that point. But I'll tell you what, he's picking it up, and everybody's doing their fair share, and that's all you have to do.
Lonnie's raised his batting average from 268 up to 311 during his recent tears to Tom Bochenek. He brought his A game for this 12 o'clock start, didn't he? Here's the other thing too, Rick. Yesterday, Tito was saying that when Lonnie first got back, said he wasn't Lonnie Chisenhall. It took him a while to get his legs under him, and now he's back to swinging it the way they feel like he's capable of. And so the reason he brought that up was in a roundabout way, talking about Michael Brantley. When you get guys back, they don't necessarily step right back in and are the player that you've known them to be. It takes a little while for that to happen, and that's why patience, while it's difficult as a fan, it's of the utmost importance for a manager.
If you're going to go out there and play him every day, you're absolutely right. But, you know, he's had the opportunities. This is where Tito's at his best, though, is when he's picking and choosing. These guys, they'll give him a day off. He's picking who he's going to play against. And, you know, and it buys them time to get their feet wet, to get their confidence going, to get back to the player that they could possibly be. So it's been fun to watch, and let's let it continue today.
And speaking of confidence, the Indians are playing with confidence, in particular within the Central Division, which they have struggled in years past. So a year ago, at this point in the season, same spot, the Indians were 14-22 against the Central Division. This year, 26-10. They're averaging almost a run and a half more per ball game. They've hit 54 homers against the Central Division this year, only 32 a season ago at this time.
There you go. A lot of offense wrapped up and a lot of good pitching to go with it.
We know the pitching's great, but the offense has been much, much better. Here's the starting lineup for Detroit under manager Brad Ausmus. Ian Kinsler will lead it off. That guy right there in your picture, Cameron Maybin, will bat second. They've held him to just 1 hit in the first 2 games of the series. Miguel Cabrera hits third. Then it's Victor Martinez, a switch hitter. Nick Castellanos and Justin Upton, both right-handed bats. Steven Moya from the left side. Jared Saltalamacchia gets his first start. He's a switch hitter. And Jose Iglesias, a right-handed bat, will hit ninth.
And today's Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher is going to be Josh Tomlin. Josh on the year, 9-1, a 321 earned run average. He's beaten the Tigers 3 times this year. And in his last 6 starts, he's 2-0 with a nice 2.43 ERA. He just hasn't had the run support that he was getting earlier. He's had 1 win in his last 5 decisions, but the no decisions have been right there. The Indians are 13-2 in his 15 starts, and against the Central Division in 9 starts, he's 7-0. So that's been outstanding for Tomlin. Let's set the defense behind him. Brought to you by Jeep. Looks like this: Ramirez in left, Naquin in center, Chisenhall in right. It'll be Uribe at third, Lindor at short, Kipnis is at second, Santana at first, with Jimenez doing the catching.
Tim Timmons, who ejected Miguel Cabrera from last night's ball game, has the plate today. Ryan Blackney is at first. Mike Everett, the crew chief, out at second base, and Jordan Baker is down at third. And Josh Tomlin ready to go, seeking that 10th win on the season. Just one loss this year.
Well, they've done a nice job in this series on Ian Kinsler. He's 0 for 6 with 2 walks. And in the 2 games, he's seen 30 pitches. 20 of them have been strikes.
Well, remember last night he swung at the first pitch and grounded out to start the game.
Well, he might do the same today because Tomlin just, you have to do that with Indian starters. They throw strikes.
And Tomlin knows that Ian Kinsler is an aggressive hitter, so he's going to challenge him. The 0-1 at the knees, outside corner, and it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes. And that's fouled down the right side into the seats. A huge throng of fans still trying to make their way into the ballpark beyond the left field gates.
12 o'clock game. They trying to make it here for lunch. They better tip the Mater D.
Swung out and missed. Kinsler down on strikes. Tomlin starts the game with a K.
Let's make this our Circle K strikeout. First batter, a little cutter away. Josh gets him to swing and miss, and that cutter has been a very effective pitch for Josh this year. His 65th strikeout.
Up comes Cameron Maybin. To this point, the Indians have neutralized both Kinsler and Maybin, which is ultimately very important because of the guys that follow him in the order. 2 down. Wayside Furniture keys to the game deflate the Tigers early. The Indians have outscored them 27-1 in the first 3 innings of the games they've played so far this year, and keep pitching effectively to Miguel Cabrera, especially inside. Now listen to this, Arch. In his last 17 games against the Indians, he has 0 extra base hits. He's batting $148 with 2 runs batted in, and the Indians have won 15 of those 17 games.
Now this was a guy last year that was, I think, through the first half was hitting over 600 against the Indians and doing a lot of damage. So
that streak started when remember when the Tigers came here in September?
Yeah,
early September. That's when this all started. I don't know if you can pinpoint anything in particular, but since that series, they have really dominated against Cabrera.
And whether, no matter how they're pitching, he's still one of the best hitters, if not the best hitter in the game. But they're just, you got to give the Indians pitchers credit, and they've just followed suit. You would think someone's going to make a mistake to him sooner or later, as good as he is, but they haven't.
You can't relax for a moment. Breaking ball down low, 2-2. Now the 2-2. Pulls it towards third. It'll be a tough play for Uribe. Got him. Oh, a nice play for Uribe. Did you see the way he threaded that like a quarterback would throw a pass to the corner of the end zone? Cabrera retired. The Indians coming to bat. In bottom of the first, the Indians starting lineup brought to you by Progressive. Under Terry Francona, the Tribe looks like this today. Carlos Santana will lead it off. Boy, is he on a hot spell. Jason Kipnis hitting second. Francisco Lindor will bat third. Mike Napoli, 4 hits in the series, including a double and a big home run. Batting cleanup, then it's Jose Ramirez and Lonnie Chisenhall. Juan Uribe, Tyler Naquin, and Chris Jimenez hitting ninth.
And the Hyundai starting pitcher, Michael Fulmer, who has really probably been the Tigers' best pitcher this year. For the rookie in his last 8 starts, he's 6-1 with a .53 earned run average. Opposition hitting just .133. And his ERA in the first inning is .525. So see if you can get him in the first.
Up high, ball 1 to Santana, who in addition to going 2 for 5, he's walked 4 times. It's always been a part of his game. And there's a hard hit ground ball to Cabrera. 1 away.
Let's check the defense behind Fulmer for the Tigers this afternoon. It's Upton in left, Maben in center, Moya over in right. It'll be Castellanos at third, Iglesias at short, Kinsler at second, Cabrera at first, Saltalamacchia behind the plate. Fulmer has made 9 starts. This will be start number 10 on the road, where he is 6-2. He's only made 3 starts at home. But this guy has 3+ pitches: the good fastball, a good breaking ball, the slider, and a changeup.
Kipnis socks that one to center field, but Cameron Maben able to run it down. 2 away. Let's get on to Andre with more on Tiger starter Michael Fulmer.
Well, Arch brought up that slider. It's a wipeout slider, and he didn't have control of it the last time he was here at this ballpark. But it's the pitch that the Indians are saying they want to stay off of, try to get the fastball in the strike zone. Also, Detroit, if you guys remember when we were back in Detroit a couple weeks ago, they started Sanchez and they pushed Fulmer back. Because it's his rookie season, they're trying to take care of his body and take care of his arm. So it'll be interesting to watch his pitch count, not only today, but as the season goes along.
Well, you're right, Andre, because, you know, he has 70 innings right now, or 71 innings, and I think he's going to max out this year at about 160 innings. So they're pushing him back, giving him extra rest, and they're trying to protect him in his rookie year because they do not want him to go more than 160 innings.
Well, and a big part of that is that, you know, he's had trouble staying healthy since the Mets drafted him back in 2011. You know, he's had a knee injury, had bone spurs in the elbow. I think a lot of people in the Mets organization were starting to look at him as more of a bullpen guy, which is probably why he was part of the trade. And it's one thing when you have an abundance of pitching, as the Mets seemingly had when the season began, as in terms of their rotation.
Well, it's just a matter of getting an opportunity. And for Fulmer, he's certainly taken advantage of it. You know, that one start he made against the Indians, he struggled. He gave up 10 hits and 5 runs in that game. But that was early in the year. And 2 starts after that, the light went off for him when he pitched against Tampa, where he went 7 innings, had 11 strikeouts in the 7 innings, and he started to incorporate that changeup a little bit more into that ball game, and it gave him the confidence to carry it over, and he's been using it a lot ever since.
Lindor sends a high drive to left center, but calling for it is maybe he doesn't make the catch. And Lindor will go into second base with 2 down in the inning, and I'm not sure if Maben heard footsteps with Upton coming over or if he just lost it in the sun.
I think it's a little of both, Matty. He went over there and wasn't sure. He ran that ball into the sun because it's a noon game. And, you know, and Upton did the right thing. It's a center fielder's ball. But he didn't get over there in time. And look, he's calling for it. He's waving him off, and then he runs it into the sun. And he didn't know where he was on the field. So they give Lindor a double, and he will certainly take it. Number 17 for Lindor. That's a break.
Now we'll see if they can take advantage of it with Mike Napoli at the plate.
You know, that's the one thing when you're the Tigers. You can't give the Indians anything, any break whatsoever, because they have taken advantage of everything they get this year against the Tigers.
Mike Napoli has bumped his average with runners in scoring position up to 265.
There was the changeup right there. And not afraid to throw it to the right-handed hitters. A lot of the Tigers starters do that. Throw that changeup to righties very effectively.
And a 1-1. Just missed outside. The Indians as a team have batted .382 against the Tigers with runners in scoring position, and doesn't Ty Van Berkeley love to hear that. Checked, and it's a foul into the glove of Saltalamacchia. 2-2. This will be the 5th pitch of the at bat, and that's about par for the course when it comes to Mike Napoli. Averages more pitches per plate appearance than anybody. Fouls this one back. But what's interesting about Napoli is that while he sees better than 4.5 pitches per plate appearance, which is the best in the bigs, the league average is less than 4. He doesn't. It's not every at bat does he say, I've got to get to see 4 or 5 pitches. He'll go up, he'll look for a first pitch sometimes, and if it's there, he'll cream it.
He gets aggressive. Yeah, you get runners in scoring position, he certainly gets aggressive, and there's a timing play. We're trying to catch Lindor napping.
Too early for a nap, Arch.
Not quite. Not after last night's game. It's a nooner here today. They tried to sneak Kinsler in on the quick throw, but he gets back in time. That's a shortstop that knows what you're doing out there.
Now Fulmer sets, checks Lindor, the 2-2. Slowly chopped to short. Iglesias on the move. Throws him out. We've played an inning here in Cleveland, no score.
At Bat app. You can stay connected all season with radio broadcast, video highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet.
Victor Martinez will lead off here in the second inning. Swings at the first pitch, and it's a fair ball behind the bag. Santana will take it himself. One quick out on one pitch here in the second. Our player profile is brought to you by Levin Furniture. Josh Tomlin was originally a 19th round pick out of Texas Tech in '06. He's matched up 3 times already this year against Verlander, and he's gone 3-0 in those matchups. What you don't see right there is just how tough this guy is when it comes to being a teammate. He's as good as it gets. He'll take the ball every 5 days, never complain. He's pitched through a lot of pain in the past, but it's really rewarding for him now to be healthy, to pitch pain-free, to go out there and just do what he can do and not have to worry about how it's going to feel the next day.
Well, that's the key, Matt. We talk about it all the time. It's health. I remember when he first came up and he had that string of at least pitching 5 consecutive innings, and he got 5 in quicker than anybody, and it was well over 30. I think it was 36, 37. He's just a different breed of pitcher now. He doesn't blow up the radar gun. He's just a true pitcher. Changing speeds, keeping the hitters off balance.
Let's go back down to Andre.
You know, you talk about how great a teammate Josh Tomlin is. Yesterday, he was out here early when Michael Brantley was hitting batting practice. I know you saw that, Matt. He was all the way back to spring training. He's been everywhere Michael's shown up. He's been there beside him. Also, the first guy to congratulate Danny Salazar on becoming an all-star, even though he wants to make it as well.
Well, and I thought he was very deserving as Jason Kipnis throws out Castellanos. I mean, he's 9-1 with a 3.21 ERA, and I know you can't take everybody, and I understand everybody's got to have a representative. But I wanted it more for Josh because of what he's gone through. I mean, it's not easy to go through Tommy John surgery, and then you come back and you're excited, and oh, now you got a shoulder problem. We're going to have to shut you down again. But through it all, he has just stayed determined.
Also, isn't he the type of guy you want to see in an all-star game? He's not the guy that's blowing the radar gun up. He really can go out there and pitch for an inning. That'd be fun to watch.
He was the mayor of Goodyear for a couple of years down there.
Boy.
While he was rehabbing.
Ground ball to third. Juan Uribe sets and throws. And the Tigers go 1-2-3 on 7 pitches. 6 up, 6 down through the first 2 for Josh Tomlin. Lonnie Chisenhall and Juan Uribe due up for the Tribe here in inning number 2. One of the great things about day baseball games, especially these noon games during the week, you get a cross section of fans from all over the place. Fair ball down the right field line. Ramirez on his way to second base. And he pulls in with his team high 21st double of the year. And the ball gets away and he'll go to third. How do you like that? More sloppy play from the Tigers, something that Brad Ausmus will not be happy about in that Detroit dugout.
I did not see it. I was writing down double, and I look up and I hear the fans yelling, and there it goes right down the line over the bag. Moya gets it in. I want to see what happens on the relay. He stopped. He was cruising into second. You look back up and the ball gets away. So he will go to third on the error. Let's see where the error is going to be located. That throw is a little bit off line. It's going to be on Moya, the right fielder. He not only missed one cutoff man, he missed 2.
Well, that's true, Arch. I was going to say Iglesias didn't exactly knock himself out to keep that ball from getting by him, but it was certainly an awful throw by Moya.
Yeah, you're supposed to hit your second baseman. Just get it right there. You concede the double. I'll tell you,
Chisenhall up high, ball 1.
we saw Moya in the series in Detroit, and we see him here. And I'll tell you what, he's a little shaky out in the field from what I've seen. But Indians will take that break and a chance to take a lead again early in the game.
Now Lonnie Chisenhall is already coming off a 4-hit night with 3 runs batted in. And this one's certainly deep enough to get that run home from third. Back is Maben, makes the catch. Ramirez will tag. He will score. It's a gift run for the Indians here in the second.
Yeah, that's Lonnie's been swinging the bat very well. They'll get another sacrifice fly. They have 31 as a team this year, and that leads the American League in that department. But this is what we call a free at bat. Boy, you give them the opportunity. See, that fly ball would have moved the runner to third base.
Well, you saw the numbers 39 and 8 when they score first. Uribe tried to hold up, but he went around. It's 0-2. Foul right back. Juan Uribe sitting on 199 career home runs. Out of play to the right. Well, this was last night. Moya came in and he went into a slide and just missed the ball. And now today, he overthrows the first cutoff man and misfires to the second one. Yeah, and you go back to Detroit when he dove for that ball and missed.
Chisenhall ball had turned into a triple as well.
So he's had some adventures. Now 1-2.
Nice
and Uribe down on strikes. And Arch, I'm sure you could probably speak to the fact that we talk about hitters going into streaks. Defenders can do the same thing.
No question.
Indians have been on quite a roll since the month of June. They had the 14-game overall win streak that was snapped in Toronto, but they still have a 13-game home winning streak, one shy of matching the 14-game tear by the 2011 squad. Tyler Naquin grounds one to short. Iglesias will throw him out. The double in the air leads to the game's first run. Cleveland 1, Detroit 0. Stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Josh Tomlin needed 7 pitches to retire the side in order in the second. He's thrown 8 consecutive strikes. And Stephen Moya will lead it off. And he starts him off with a breaking ball for a strike. You wonder with a young player, if you're having trouble in the field, is it harder to separate that when you go to the plate?
Well, you know, it may be. You know, we didn't get a chance to get to see him in the minor leagues, and how hard you have to work out there, but it shouldn't be. You got to separate the two of them by the time you get to the big leagues, because you're going to be told, you know what, you don't take the bat out into the field with you, and you don't bring your glove up to the plate. The game gets a little faster up here, as everybody's been told. You know, you can be a defender, and down in AAA, the guys don't hit the ball as hard down there. They don't carry as far down there. You get up to here, and there's some men that are swinging the bat, and I'm going to tell you, that ball gets to you a lot quicker. It sinks, it slices, and it's a lot tougher to play up here than it is down there.
3-2 swung, and it fouled in and out of the glove. Chris Gimenez.
You know, not everybody's a great defender, and you have to work at it. And you know, he's just coming up, and he's going to get his opportunities, because a guy, from what we've seen, can certainly swing the bat.
3-2 pitch. It's hit in the left center field, and it's slicing back towards Ramirez, who makes the snow cone catch.
You know, he was torn in between. Am I going to have to dive, or am I going to be able to run through it? And he ran through it. Good for him. And that ball is jumping a little bit when you're running as fast as he was going to pick it up. And he gets into the gap, and I'm thinking it hit his thumb, and then it stays right there in the glove in the webbing, and he corrals it on the next step. See where that ball tried to squeeze out there. But nice running catch.
Jared Saltalamacchia, switch hitter.
You know, and he's not an outfielder, folks. He just started playing the outfield this year, and you know, he hasn't really hurt him. I think I go back to early in the year. I think one ball he had trouble with in Tampa, and other than that, he's been fine. He's held his own, and no matter where you plug him in, third base, shortstop, second base.
I think the most important thing for a manager, when you put a guy out there who's not, it's not his natural position and he's learning it, you want him to be able to make the everyday, the routine plays.
That's all you have to do. He's done that and then some.
Two count. Swung on and missed. Tomlin with his second strikeout. And he's retired the first 8 in a row to start the day.
Let's take a look at this pitch on our Nissan pitch tracker. It's going to be inside, and he runs that little cutter. Starts it on the inside part of the plate, and it cuts about 2 or 3 inches in off the plate. Saltalamacchia swings through it. It's called command. Such great control. He has the best control on this staff, without a doubt.
And Jose Iglesias looks at a fastball just below the knees. You all right?
You know, in his last start in Toronto, he had the 2 walks.
There's a ground ball to third. Uribe in on the grass, throws him out. They go 1, 2, 3 as Tomlin has retired the first 9 in a row. We move to the bottom half of the third. Jose Ramirez telling Danny Salazar about that terrific play he made in left field. Chris Jimenez will lead it off for the Tribe. And there's a base hit into center field. The Indians will get their leadoff man aboard for the second inning in a row.
Well, Jimenez jumps on the first fastball. That's what the pitch they were looking to hit off Fulmer. He gets the first fastball and drives it right back up the middle. 3 hits now, 1 in every inning.
Carlos Santana looks at a ball outside. He grounded out to first. His only time up. Swing and a miss. After last night's ball game, in which the Indians pounded Detroit 12-1 to go 11-0 against the Tigers this year, Detroit manager Brad Ausmus didn't have a whole lot to say, but he did get quoted as saying, "I really don't know what to say other than they kicked our butt tonight, quite frankly." And then he said, "Other than the fact that they've beat us 11 straight games, there's nothing baffling. They've outplayed us, and there's nothing baffling about that."
Yeah, when you're the manager, it's up to your players now. You got to be sick of getting beat, and there's something you have to do about it. I mean, you're in the division. How often do you see a team just, I can see them owning you or, beating you, but you've got to find a way to come back and beat them in your division. Detroit has not responded this year.
Rick, we talk about it all the time in baseball, just how difficult it is to sweep a series. You want to win 2 out of 3. If you do that over the course of the year, you're going to be in the playoffs.
You're happy, yeah.
But to sweep a team is not easy, and they've swept them every time they've played them this year.
They're looking for their 4th straight if they can win it today. Twice in Detroit. They're looking for the 2nd time here, and that is really hard to do.
Now Fulmer's 3-2 pitch fouled back. It would be easy to kind of sit back and say, well, the Indians must be in the Tigers' heads. I don't think it's that. I just think it's as Brad Ausmus said, this isn't really hard to figure out. The Indians have pitched extremely well. They're not letting Detroit do what they do best, which is hit and score runs. And they've taken it to the Tigers pitching staff from an offensive standpoint.
Hitting with runners in scoring position, getting the early lead.
Santana smokes it into right field. Jimenez had to wait back because the ball almost decapitated him, and he'll still make it all the way to third.
Well, again, now we showed Napoli last night getting on top of a high fastball. Santana is probably one of the best on this team of doing that. This is going to be our Yellowwood bringing the lumber. He jumped up top. That was about letter high, and he got on top of it. I mean, smoked a line drive into right field. And there you go. Jimenez had to back up. Now, he's not blessed with good speed, but by the time Moya gets it, he's still able to get himself to third base. So 1st in, 3rd in, nobody out. And they're threatening again.
And Jason Kipnis, the batter, he flied to deep center his first time up. And the Indians' 13-game home win streak has coincided with a 13-game home hitting streak for Jason Kipnis. Up and away, and a nice stab by Saltalamacchia.
Watch this. Watch Jimenez have to come back, take a step back, and still able to get to third base. He took a peek. He made the call on his own. Didn't look over there at Mike Sarbaugh, and makes it easily to third base. You know, left-handers, Fulmer's been tough on them. They're hitting just 188 coming into today.
Threw it by him 1-1.
Right-handers hitting only 214, and they've hit all 6 homers. And he gets very tough with runners in scoring position, gives up a 139 average. And the run they scored today was a sacrifice fly.
Yeah, you know, that second look at the line drive by Santana, if you're Chris Gimenez, you know, you're 90 feet away from that ball when it comes off the bat. He did all he could do, but if that ball was going to hit him, there wasn't a whole lot he was going to do to avoid it, because that ball was smoked.
Would have went through him.
It's got to be a little scary at first. Kipnis lines it but fouled on the right side, and a backhanded misplay.
Error. The Indians have been very aggressive on the base pass. That was a play last night that got by Moya in right field. And Lindor hit it, and he was going to keep right on going. And watch, he makes it just in time. By the time they track it down, the tag was a little late. He goes in head first and scored a run. So they're doing everything in their power to go first to third, second to home, first to home.
It was a point of emphasis from day one of spring training to be a better base running team this year, and they have been. 2-2. Kipnis with a high drive deep down the right field line. If it's fair, it's gone. It is a foul ball, says first base umpire Ryan Blackney.
Boy, that did not miss by much. Look at Kipnis thought he had one, and Cabrera's talking to him right now as he's walking back. He thought he had a homer. I mean, it was very, very close. Oh, there you go. Okay. It's a couple feet foul.
Well, Terry Francona's coming out, and now he might be going back.
Well, he could ask them to check, couldn't he, without a review?
Yeah, this would be an umpire's decision whether or not they want to take a look at this. And usually in this situation, unless the umpire feels pretty strongly about it, they'll say no. But most of the time they'll say, okay, we'll take a look at it.
Well, that's how it was originally designed in baseball with replay. It was for the home run ball. Fair foul or over the fence. And you can see right there, it is foul. And I think, look at Kipnis. Oh, so close to a 3-run homer.
And to emphasize here, this is not a challenge. And so what happens is the manager can request it, but it's still up to the umpire. The umpire can say, no, we're not going to look at it. But most of the time, I think the umpires will say, okay.
Well, that was close enough. They can take a look at it. Yes. I mean, unless they're absolutely sure.
Now, our look appeared to be pretty conclusive. The only thing is, if you don't see the top of the foul pole, you know, I don't know for certain, but
there you go. It's fine. Foul ball.
Foul ball is the
they were right.
Upheld call.
And look at Terry saying thank you for checking.
So the count 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 on. Nobody out. There's Gimenez at third base. Carlos Santana at first. And the changeup misses outside. Full count.
Be interesting to see if they start Santana here on the full count.
They do not. And Kipnis again rips it foul down the right side. And so this goes back to the conversation we had last night. A year ago, Kipnis was being challenged with fastballs that were up, they were away, and he was smoking them to left field. Teams finally got wise, saying we can't beat him there. So now they're pitching him more middle in, and he's turning on a lot more pitches this year.
Yes, that's true. Now they're going to go fastball away. They would love to get a ground ball double play is what they're looking for.
Struck him out. Second K for Fulmer. First out on the inning.
He came right in, didn't mess around. He went heater and says, there it is. And I'll tell you what, it had a pretty good part of the plate, and Jason swings through it. So you just miss a 3-run home run, you end up swinging through it, and he gets the first out of the inning.
Up comes Francisco Lindor. He hit a high fly ball to deep left center his first time up. Cameron Maben, the center fielder, went over. It looked like he was going to make the catch, but he short-armed it. It fell for a double.
Lindor leads this team in sacrifice flies with 7. He had 2 the other night. I mean, that's what you're looking to do. You're looking to get that runner in from third base. Add to the 1-0 lead. Unfortunately, the speed on the bases for the Indians, average.
He gets ahead of him with a strike. Situational hitting in the series opener was a little shaky, but they overcame it with a big home run late. Yesterday, they took advantage of just about every scoring opportunity that they had. Lindor falls behind 0-2.
Changeup. That's his change. So he started him off slider and then went with the changeup.
We're seeing more non-traditional changeup grips now, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. There's different styles. You know, that a lot of people throw that circle change because probably it might be the easiest to throw, but the way Salazar and Carrasco and these guys hold their changeups and a lot of other pitchers, it's almost like it's like a forkball or sometimes a split.
Can't be certain, but it almost looked that Fulmer has more of a 3-pitch grip on that changeup.
Isn't that how Salazar and those guys throw it too? Deeper into that middle finger, depending on how it rolls off the finger, what it does.
He starts with the traditional.
Yeah, that's a four-seam fastball grip.
The 2-2. Pulled foul. A lot of guys that used to throw the split, a true split, they would start with the split grip because it's harder to get that grip in the glove.
You start with it that way, and yes, you could always change. It's easier to change from that grip going to a fastball.
Lindor shoots it to left field. Upton charges, makes the catch. Jimenez is going to try to score. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe.
He might have left early. They're going to check. I think he left early. It was awfully close. He ended up beating it, but we'll see if they appeal it. Here we go. Let's take a peek. He didn't drive it. He just put it in play. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, it's good to go. He did. He was just on time. So for Chris Gimenez, very good. Good base running for him to go first to third. And then the tag was on time. Good job. 2-0 Tribe.
And Francisco Lindor is Mr. Sack Fly all of a sudden.
Yes, he is. Number 8 on the season.
They will appeal. Oh, they call him out. The home plate umpire, it's his call.
Hold on. You can.
It's Tim Timmons' call, but the Indians will challenge this.
Absolutely, because we just showed it to you. They're going to go to the headset and challenge.
So now they'll go to the headset.
Yeah, that's okay. From what we saw on our replay there, his foot was on the base when the ball was in the glove of Upton.
See, Rick, Castellanos, the third baseman, initially he looked over to third base umpire Jordan Baker. But watch Baker. It's not his call.
No,
He's
it's
got to
not.
check the play in left field. So
There's-
it's the home plate umpire's call, but he's clearly on the bag as the ball goes into the glove.
I believe so. I believe he is on the bag, and he makes it easily. But you can see where Upton did, he made a mistake because he caught it so high. You like to try and get behind that ball as an outfielder so you can have your momentum going to home plate, but his arm was extended up.
I also think, too, maybe from Tim Timmons' vantage point behind the home plate, it looked like Chris got back to the bag and might have had a false start, and that may have.
That's true.
He may have thought he saw him leave early.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And, you know, I saw everybody in their dugout pointing like he left early, but if they get a chance to see it, I'm thinking they're going to realize he did not.
Unfortunately for the umpires, and I do mean this sincerely, when they go to the headset, they don't get any more information than you and I are getting, which is none. All they get is thumbs up, thumbs down, or whatever. They're not walking them through it. Well, this is what I see. I think it's
because they don't have to explain it to us.
So these guys are literally just sitting there. They're watching it on the replay.
No different than the
Scoreboard.
players are.
Exactly.
The players are watching the same thing up on the scoreboard right now as the umpires are here. But that's the thing for me. They don't have to explain it when they come back. What happened or what shot that they used on the play. Here they come. The run scores. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. There you go. So they get the replay, and Tim Timmons, they will overturn it, and Jimenez did. And I think you're right, because that front foot, Matt, it almost looked like he took a half a step, but his left foot was on the base.
Right.
Watch his front foot go.
It's a little bit of a false start.
It is, but his foot is still on the base by the time he left. Hey, when you don't have speed, you got to get as many steps as you can to get going. And he gets in there, so they overturn it.
It's the fifth sacrifice fly in the series for the Indians.
And Lindor has 3 of them.
Lonnie Chisenhall with the other 2. And it's 2-0 Cleveland with 2 down and Mike Napoli at the plate. Wow, that was just straight mano-a-mano, 94-mile-an-hour heater. Napoli put a good swing on it, but came up empty. And took a little something off. That was a nice changeup.
Well, that was a nice sequence right there. You challenged them upstairs with a high fastball, and then you come right back with what looks like the same pitch, but it's a changeup. And Fulmer's had to work hard to get out of this inning. And if he gets out of it with just one more run, that's a nice job. First and third, nobody out.
Knapp pops it up. This might be playable here for Saltalamacchia. And he makes the grab to end the inning. Indians put another run on the board. Through 3, Cleveland 2, Detroit 0.
7 on Friday before the Tribe will take on the New York Yankees. You can enjoy $2 Miller Lite cans plus dollar dogs all night long. Post-game fireworks as well. After the ball game, just go to Indians.com and get your tickets.
4th inning, and Ian Kinsler will lead it off for Detroit. Swings and a ground ball into right field. Kinsler has swung on a lot of first pitches in this series, and that's his first hit in 8 at-bats.
Well, he's going to continue. There's the little cutter away. This time he stayed on the baseball and took it the other way. That's that little cutter. You try to pull it, you either roll over on it. Tomlin has 6 ground ball outs. This time he finds the hole between first and second.
Cameron Maybin to the plate. He's 1 for 9 in the series.
Maybin had a tough night last night. 3 strikeouts and grounded into a double play ball. He swung at the first pitch his first time up, grounded to short.
Showing bunt. And he took it for a ball.
Kinsler, a guy at first base. He has 8 stolen bases on the year, but he's one of those guys that if you let him get your walking lead, he'll time you and take off. But Tomlin does a nice job of he'll hold it, he'll stop it, and he will throw over there a number of times.
Count evens at 1-1. Game time temperature today was 84 degrees. And in 1 hour's time, the mercury has shot up to 87. Jimenez lost it. It rolls back, and down to second goes Kinsler.
It'll be a pass ball. I don't think that ball hit the dirt. I think he just missed it. Went off his glove. And yes, it was. So that takes the double play out of order.
Cameron Maybin, who grounded to short his first time up, awaiting the 2-1 pitch now. And a foul right back to even it up. Cameron Maybin, a North Carolina native. It's this high in the air, deep down the left field line. It is a foul ball. No! He's calling that a home run. It must have hit the pole.
That's what he's saying. I didn't see it. I didn't see it hit the pole, but it came down. It had to.
And it'll be a 2-run homer for Detroit, and they've tied the game.
It came straight down. And you don't see anybody out there saying anything, so it had to hit the pole.
Yeah, Ramirez is offering no protest out in left field.
Well, Maybin, that's his second home run on the year. And it was close. We were looking for fair or foul. Wasn't sure if it had the distance, but it came straight down. So I'm thinking it had to hit the pole. You see it ricochet coming down.
It must have hit the left side of the pole.
So back come Detroit. They are on the board.
Miguel Cabrera with a fly ball to Lonnie Chisenhall. 1 down. So a 2-run homer for Maybin right down the left field line. And I think it caught just the very edge of the left side of the foul pole. A rare multi-run homer given up by Josh Tomlin. He's seemingly the king of the solo homer.
Well, he's allowed a homer in 14 of his last 16 starts.
It's hit pretty well to deep center field, and it's over Naquin's head. It'll short hop the fence. And he'll make the long throw in towards second base, and Martinez in sliding with a 1-out double.
That ball was hit right on the nose, a line drive. Naquin, no chance for it, so you just turn around and you play it. That dot ball leaks out over the plate, right into the barrel head of the bat of Martinez. The high hop. Naquin played it nicely. As the throw comes in, it gets by, and Martinez will have his 14th double. So 3 hits in the inning. The first time through, they were 0 for 9. They are now 3 for 4 going through the second time.
And Nick Castellanos, who grounded out his only time up to the plate. And he lifts one towards center. That's going to drop for a hit, and Martinez will go to third. That's 4 hits in the inning.
Well, nothing. He wasn't going to get there. It's off the end of the bat. So it's first and third now. And you see that's a point in time they stay aggressive, getting after that first pitch. The only out came off the bat of Cabrera, and he hit it on the line, first pitch. That's the one thing with Josh out there, as many strikes as he throws, and offenses, they get after him. It can happen quickly on a number of pitches.
He retired 9 in a row to start the game, and he did it rapid fire fashion. And now here in the fourth, the Tigers have turned the tables on him, and it's happened quickly.
Yeah, that's how it can happen both ways.
Now Justin Upton, a ground out victim his first time up. Upton, you see they're 2 out of 8 in the series. Fouled third base side and broke his bat. Justin Upton was a #1 pick of the Diamondbacks back in 2005. Two years later, made his major league debut. I'd say that's fast tracking. Little high. Chopped off the plate. That's going to go foul. At one point in his career, he did play with his brother, B.J. Upton. I think they were in Atlanta.
Right. Yes, they were.
Now the 2-2. Low and a full count. A lengthy inning now for Josh Tomlin. As we get
yeah, they did
some stirring out in the Cleveland bullpen. No action at this point. The pitch. Back out of play.
Yeah. First 3 innings, no hits. Tomlin in total control. Had 6 ground ball outs. In this inning, you get the leadoff single on the first pitch by Kinsler. Maben hit the 2-run homer off the pole. You get an out and then a double and a single. And they're rolling. Going to be a big pitch here for Tomlin.
And the payoff is a high fly ball left center, carrying well, but Naquin back there just shy of the warning track pulls it down. And tagging and scoring is Victor Martinez, and the Tigers have the lead 3-2. It's only the second time in this now the 12 games that they've played that the Tigers have had any lead of any kind.
Well, watch Naquin at the end. He's looking up into that sun. And I'll tell you what, Castellanos did a nice job of going back to tag up. And then he reads the throw. It's a good throw coming in by Naquin, but he had to put on the brakes. He was about halfway down and get back to first base. But it was a heads-up play, so they put a big crooked number on the board. They have their 3, and they take the lead.
And now Stephen Moya, who flied to left, his only time up. Bouncer to first. Santana will take it himself. The Tigers show their teeth here in the 4th. 3 runs on 4 hits, 1 left. They lead it by a run. Trevor Plouffe of the Minnesota Twins has a fracture in the rib, so he's out. Jameson telling you that's a tough loss for the Pirates. That young man we just got our first look at him recently, and looked like he was going to be a good pitcher. But immediately to the DL, and Brandon Moss with 17 home runs. That's a big loss for St. Louis. It's tough enough to catch the Cubs for anybody in the National League when you're healthy, let alone you start losing guys.
Yes, indeed.
Jose Ramirez takes the ball down low, 1-1.
We'll see how Michael Fulmer holds this lead. They come back and they give him a 1-run lead.
Last time the Tigers had a lead in this series, it was in Detroit. It was a solo home run by Mike Aviles, and it didn't last long.
Well, that could be, that's a nice spark for that Tiger team here, the way they've played against the Indians. They responded.
And an off-speed pitch in for a strike, 2-2.
Ramirez, career high 11 game hitting streak.
Full count. Broke his bat.
Yeah, you better go get a new one. He's looking down there. Well, you can get your Yan Gomes bobblehead courtesy of Sports Time Ohio on Saturday. The Yankees are in town. Plus, visit the T-Mobile pregame district block party, and KeyBank will be providing specials for fans all weekend as part of the KeyBank hassle-free weekend. Just go to Indians.com for your tickets.
Again, a 3-2, a little slow roller foul. Big weekend crowds expected for the Yankees series. The 3-2 again, down and in, ball 4. The Indians get their leadoff man aboard for the 3rd straight inning. And they've been able to turn that into a run in the previous 2 instances.
Yeah, I was going to say the first walk by Fulmer tonight. And last night they took advantage of it. They walked 7 times. 6 times those walks came around to score. But they were able to, get base hits after the walks.
And Lonnie Chisenhall drove in a run in the 2nd with a sac fly to center field. And he takes ball 1. There's a hard hit ball to center. Maben going back and makes the catch. 1 away. And the All-Star game comes your way Tuesday night in San Diego. All of baseball's biggest stars will be on display. You'll see it on Fox Tuesday at 7:30, or you can stream it live on Fox Sports Go. Francisco Lindor, Danny Salazar to represent the Indians. Snap throw over. Juan Uribe. He lifts one to center field. Maben back a few steps. 2 down. And up comes Tyler Naquin. Speaking of the All-Star game, which comes up Tuesday, you'll see the game on Fox. In the 84 seasons since Major League Baseball has had their All-Star game, this is only the 9th time that Cleveland has had 50 or more wins prior to the All-Star break. And if the Indians can rally back and win this game today, they would be sitting at 20 games over 500. They started the afternoon with an 8-game lead in the loss column in the division. Now the 1-1 broke his bat, and it's going to bloop, and it's going to get down for a base hit, and Ramirez is going to go to third because nobody's home.
Really nice heads-up play by Jose. You could not have thrown that ball out there with your hand any better than it was with the bat of Naquin after it shattered. You had the third baseman going out. You had the shortstop converging. Iglesias tried to track it down. Probably would have been the easiest play, but it's slicing away from him over the head of Castellanos. And with nobody covering, Ramirez able to go to third base. There are 2 outs, but that'll go as a base hit. First and third now. Fulmer's watching. You can't be a bystander. You got to get over there. Now, if there wasn't 2 outs, that could have hurt.
Yeah, that could have been a much bigger play.
Right.
Chris Gimenez singled and scored in the 3rd inning. Now trying to do some damage here in the 4th. He checks in, bops it back to the pitcher's mound. Inning over. No runs, a hit, 2 stranded. We played 4. It's Detroit 3, Cleveland 2. Baseball is brought to you by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. Now the Tigers hold a 3-2 lead as we go to the 5th inning. And Detroit will have Jared Saltalamacchia leading off. Got to apply the sunscreen and then reapply it on a warm afternoon here at the ball yard. Saltalamacchia struck out his first time up. And takes a first pitch strike from Josh Tomlin. Ouch. Oh, fouled it off of his leg and he went down in a heap.
That went straight down. No question about that one today. He is in pain.
I'm not sure that ball didn't hit off the inside of his knee. Which, as you know, Rick, that's just like, it's just bone. You know, there's hardly anything to protect that inside part of the knee.
Well,
Let's
check
see.
it out. Oh, yeah, inside of the knee.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Sure did. Boy, that's in pain. And he's a catcher, so you know you got to get down in that crouch, boy, but he goes straight down, right off to the inside. He can barely, I mean, barely put any pressure on it.
He might be done.
Well, he'll give it some time.
He's trying, but
he'll give it some time. Ausmus, a former catcher, they know.
no, he's relacing the gloves. He wants to stay in there.
He just needs a little time. Let that stinging go away. That's going to be sore for about a week. He's hoping he either swings and misses or hits a home run so he doesn't have to run too fast. He's still hobbling.
The count is 0-2. Tigers had to put starting pitchers on the DL in each of the previous 2 days. First Jordan Zimmerman, then Daniel Norris. The 0-2 offering.
Went right back in there too, didn't he?
Pitchers have no mercy.
No.
Because hitters don't. When you're struggling, hitters don't either.
There you go, right there. Now that wasn't in. That was a little cutter that was there. It wasn't a bad pitch to swing at.
Swung on and missed. He struck him out. And Saltalamacchia will limp back to the dugout. Third strikeout for Tomlin. In-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Indians with a sac fly from Chisenhall, one from Lindor to build a 2-0 lead, but Cameron Maben, one swing of the bat, got the Tigers back even when it glanced off the left field foul pole, and they took the lead on a sac fly by Justin Upton, and that's where we stand 3-2 here in the fifth. And Jose Iglesias looks at a strike. Out of play to the right. Oh, I mean, a terrific one-handed grab. Napkin in one hand, makes the catch with the other. 0-2 pitch. Got him looking. Back-to-back Ks for Tomlin. 2 down.
Just goes back inside with a fastball that stays right there. True, right on the inside edge, 88 miles per hour. Gets the call.
Top of the order, Ian Kinsler. Well, if it's close, he's going to swing. He's been first ball swinging throughout the series. He swung at both first pitches today. And that time he took off the outside part of the plate. Singleton scored ahead of the home run by Maben in the 4th inning. And it's quickly 0-2.
Yeah, throughout the series, they have really pounded the strike zone here with Kinsler. He's been aggressive, but they've continued to just throw strikes.
Inside corner, no, just missing. That was close to the same pitch he just rung up Iglesias with. Going back in there again. 2-2. No chase, back to full count now. From 0-2 to 3-2 for Kinsler. Look out on the Indians dugout. Down a line, but slicing foul. And the count stays 3-2. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat right here. And it's hit hard to third. What a backhanded stop by Uribe. And on the long throw, Santana tried to swipe the tag on him, but he whiffed, and Kinsler's aboard.
That was an unbelievable catch by Uribe. He got over there, and I mean, that ball was smoked. And the throw was offline. I'm surprised Santana caught it, but he couldn't apply the tag. Look at that ball. That was by him. So by the time he plants and throws, he pulls Santana off, and he missed him on the tag going by. But that was, whew, that was a heck of a job to even catch that ball. But that'll be a single for Kinsler. Should have been a double.
So Cameron Maybin will bat. And he homered his last time up. You know, he did that his last time up too. Remember, he showed bunt.
Sure do. And maybe taking all the way just to try and get Uribe to come in a step, but he's not going anywhere. He's going to play even with the bag.
One ball, one strike. With 2 down and a runner at first, and the Indians down a run here in the 5th. Maybin showing some patience. He got the count back in his favor now at 2-1. That's high. 3 balls and a strike. This next pitch for Tomlin will be number 70. 49 pitches have been strikes. He carved him up first time through the order. Second time around, they got to him for 3 runs. Third time through, Kinsler singled. Now 3-1 to Maybin, and he's walked him.
That's the first walk today for Josh.
Well, he was trying to get Maybin to expand his strike zone. He just wouldn't do it.
Well, you can see the last couple innings he's had to work very hard, even though they've been aggressive. 20-pitch inning, and now you're getting Cabrera for the 3rd time through.
And one of the rare times in the season series that he's come to bat with some guys on base. In tight. And there's a foul ball right side. I mentioned before the last 17 games for Cabrera against the Indians. They have held him without an extra base hit and only 2 runs batted in. In those 17 games, he's left 23 men on base, which isn't a ton when you consider how many times he can come up to bat with people aboard. Fouled that off of his foot, and he's hobbling around.
Boy, they're beating themselves up in this inning. Saltalamacchia went down off the knee. This is the second straight day Cabrera's hit one off him. The other one was his shin when he was ejected yesterday because they didn't call it a foul ball. This one looked like it off the foot. Instep. Look at him. That's so he's going to limp around for a little bit.
Rick, 6 times this year in the 11 games that the Indians have played Detroit. 6 times in the 11 games. Miguel Cabrera has come to bat with no runners on base. Think about playing him for one game and not get 6 times. I mean, 6 games. I'm sorry, 6 games out of the 11. He hasn't had a guy on base.
Look at, see, that's the one he was arguing last night. It went off his shin. They did not call a foul ball. He stayed at home plate and he was ejected.
Another 1-2 down low. He almost went, but held up. And a full count. Tell you what, though, you play the Tigers 11 times, and Miguel Cabrera in 6 of those games doesn't have a single guy on base in front of him.
That's a heck of a job.
You got a pretty good chance to beat him.
Yes, you do. Well, this has got to be a pitch here by Tomlin. They'll be off and running.
And the payoff pitch is hit deep to right. Back is Chisenhall, and it's off the wall. Tigers will get 2. Cabrera with a long 2-out, 2-run single. And they've opened it up and lead it now 5-2.
All this coming with 2 outs, and it's been the top of the lineup that has done the damage. The walk to Maben after the 2-out single by Kinsler. And that's a 2-run single because Cabrera stayed at first base. He hit a line drive going that way. But by the time they get it in with the runners moving, they make it a 5-2 ball game. Cabrera gets his 52nd, 53rd RBI. Now they'll get the bullpen going as Callaway comes out to the mound.
Well, you think about Kinsler was his ball, terrific play by Uribe, but they couldn't quite get him at first base. And then Maben, he got ahead of him, but was trying to get him to expand his strike zone. He was nibbling on that outside part of the plate just off, couldn't get him to do it. He ends up drawing the walk, forcing you to face Miguel Cabrera, who finally delivers for Detroit. And now Victor Martinez, who doubled the center in the 4th. He tried to hold up, but he went around. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Five runs, 6 hits for Detroit.
Yeah, they've done that in the last 2 innings. 3 in the 4th, 2 here in the 5th.
Same thing. He tried to hold up, but he went around. And it's 1-2. You know, usually don't see him kind of caught in between like that twice in the same at bat.
No, you're right. You do not. He's trying to get one out and hit it hard somewhere. In the 4th inning, they started it right out of the chute with the base hit, the 2-run homer, and there was nobody out. In this inning, he had the first 2 outs on strikeouts, and then 3 straight have reached.
Tigers have taken advantage here in this 5th inning of some 2-out opportunities. The hardest hits to get in the game. In the dirt, gets away, and down to second base goes Cabrera. So now he's in the scoring position on the wild pitch.
Well, the first time through the lineup, Tomlin was able to get, when he get to two outs, he was able to breeze through the inning on 7 pitches. But since then, he has had a tough time closing out an inning. 24 pitches and counting after you get to 2 outs.
Lindor on the short hop, can't come up with it, and Cabrera's coming around third, and he'll hold there. I thought he was maybe going to try to steal a run there, but Uribe quickly over to hustle and pick up the loose ball.
Yeah, that was a hop where it had some spin to it, so it's going to be a tough one to pick. You watch the spin. He was right in line with it, but the hop comes up and goes off the glove and ricochets away from him. Lindor comes over to keep Cabrera at third base. That'll be a base hit for Victor.
Well, right here is where the game could turn. I mean, it's still a ball game here at 5-2, but boy, you make a mistake now with Castellanos, and they could put some distance between themselves and the Indians right here. The error charged to Lindor. There's a fly ball hit deep center. Back is Naquin looking up, and it is gone. So the mistake was made, and Castellanos made him pay dearly. And the Tigers blow it open with a 5-run 5th inning. And they lead it now 8-2.
He just couldn't close out the inning, and the last error didn't help. And Tomlin's afternoon will be over. A 3-run home run by a guy that's really done all the damage to the Indians this year if you're a Tiger, and that's Castellanos, straight away central. And that's a 3-pointer, and they are in command 8-2.
Tomlin's day is done, and the Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made for right-hander Tommy Hunter. He'll be coming on when we come back. Josh Tomlin with 2 outs and nobody on base.
Yeah, you get to Cabrera, and there's a ball that he likes away, and he finally did some damage against the Indians, going off the wall, driving in a pair. And then Castellanos comes up. He gets one down the heart of the plate. And straightaway Central, there's the other 3. So it's 5 runs with 2 outs here in the 5th inning. And Detroit has opened this one up, made it an 8-2 ball game for Castellanos, his 16th home run of the year.
Tommy Hunter on to face Justin Upton. Hunter this year, 19 appearances, 2 up, 1 down, a 3.72 ERA. Threw the fastball by him, and it's 1-1. And an off-speed pitch puts him in the hole, 1-2. He's out looking, inning over. But the Tigers with 5 in the 5th have opened up an 8-2 lead. As we take a look at our stat of the game, brought to you by Buick. Carlos Santana over his last 23 games batting well over 300 with 19 homers, 18 runs batted in. He's bumped that batting average up to near 250. And we'll go down to Andre with more on Santana as he leads off this home half of the 5th.
Well, here's some numbers that may blow some away. Dating back to 1913, Carlos Santana is the only Indians hitter to have 19+ home runs and 49+ walks before the All-Star break. Basically saying he's on his way to possibly 40 home runs and 100 walks in one season. Just talks about the 2 things he does very well, guys.
Yeah, and sometimes those 2 things are in contrast when it comes to a true power hitter. You think of a power hitter as a guy who hits home runs and strikes out a lot, not necessarily a guy who hits a lot of home runs and walks a lot.
Well, he's been on a nice roll here.
Downstairs. And it's 2-1. He's been on a nice run, and he's the one guy, I shouldn't say the one guy, he's one of a number of guys who's bounced around a lot in the lineup. You think about when he first came up with the Indians, he He was a guy that went right into the middle of the lineup.
Yes, he did.
But this year, Terry Francona's taken advantage of his patience and his ability to draw walks by batting him leadoff a number of times. He's also batted him 6th, 5th. Foul right
Yeah,
back.
and it all started against the Tigers back in Detroit. Against Verlander. He had a 3-2 pitch in the first game he led off. Hit a home run and gave the Indians a lead.
And the 2-2 from Fulmer is a little low, full count.
Fulmer started out this game. They had opportunities, but he was able to minimize the damage that the Indians put on the board. There's another walk.
Leadoff man aboard for Jason Kipnis now. Well, we know one thing is absolutely certain. Brad Ausmus has a 6-run lead, and he will not allow Fulmer to get in the way of the Tigers having a chance to win this game now. He'll have that bullpen up at a moment's notice if he feels that lead becomes jeopardized at all here. Jason Kipnis 0 for 2. He's flied out and struck out. Obviously, you try to balance winning the game with where the team's at right now. They've had some injuries in the rotation. Their bullpen has been used a lot, but when you haven't beaten the team all season long and you've got a 6-run lead, he's going to try to win this baby.
Well, think about it. The first 11 games we played him, we haven't seen their closer one time in any ball game.
Hasn't even
Francisco
appeared.
Rodriguez, haven't even seen him.
To first, Miguel Cabrera goes to second. There's one. Back to first. Double play.
Uh-oh, looks like Kipnis stepped on his foot too as he was covering the base.
And Kipnis might have rolled his ankle a little bit as well. That happens. You think about that, how many times that happens in basketball when guys, you just step on somebody's foot in the paint. And you get around that first base area.
Well, you know, that base is only so wide. You've got a pitcher coming over and you watch the throw. Let's see. He's on the base and he goes right on his ankle.
He's right in the middle of the bag.
Yeah,
though.
I mean, there's no way you can step on the base. I don't even know if Kipnis touched the base. It looks like it got his foot. Let's see here. That's hard to tell there, but look where his foot was. He had no place to go to the base. He slipped actually, and he hit the back of his
right
cleat.
on his ankle.
Yeah, hit the back of it. There, we'll get a better look. There, it's all over the base. Kipnis had no place to go.
He beat the throw, clearly beat the throw. As they take another look here.
That's nobody's fault. Fulmer's trying to get over there to cover the bag, and he wants to get the corner of the bag, but on the move, you just can't see it.
Well, give them both credit. They're both going to stay in there. I thought maybe Fulmer was going to have to come out of the game the way that replay showed how he
he's not coming out.
Landed right on top of that ankle.
There's the foot. It is all over first base. Kipnis had no place to go when he stepped on the bag except his foot. He couldn't go inside.
Well, he clearly beats the throw. That part wasn't even close. Crowd awaiting the decision.
Along with everybody else.
Well, the crew chief is Mike Everett. He's got his back directly to us. First base umpire Ryan Blackney, who made the call, is to the left. Well, there's the call. The call stands.
Go 3-6-1.
Terry Francona said, "I'd like an explanation." You'll be waiting a while.
Well, he beats the throw. I'm just thinking that they said he didn't ever touch the bag. He hit Fulmer's foot. Watch, he gets over there. It's in the. He steps right on his foot. Lindor down now, 1-2.
And it's caught by Cabrera. And that ends the inning. 8-2 Detroit. Of baseball, Danny Salazar named to his first All-Star team. Leads the team in wins, tied for third in the American League, and leads the league in ERA. Second in opponent's batting average.
See that picture? That's his changeup grip as he's releasing the baseball.
Out of play off the bat of Steven Moya, who was 0 for 2 today. Swung on and missed, down and in. Fastball up and away. And a foul back out of play. Swung out and missed. Tommy Hunter strikes him out.
Pretty good pitches right there to Moya going inside.
Our great clip of the game from last night. Francisco Lindor playing some sick defense. Heads up play right here to get the runner going to third.
He realized that he hesitated because that ball, he wasn't sure if it was going to be caught or not, and he wasn't going to turn the double play on Iglesias. But he was very heads up to get Ramirez the ball. They tag him, and it was a 4-6-5 double play.
Down and in, he missed 2-0. Down and in. Saltalamacchia takes a fastball, and that's in for a strike. Hard hit ground ball. Lindor throws him out. 2 away. The youngest All-Stars in Cleveland Indians history. Well, you got to go back to the dawn of the Bob Feller era. And then Buddy Bell when he was just 21 years old in 1973.
Herbie, how about that?
Jose Iglesias is 0 for 2 today. And a bouncing ball towards second. Kipnis will throw him out. The inning is over as the Tigers go 1-2-3. in favor of Detroit. Indians come to bat here in the bottom of the 6th with Mike Napoli on the hill. Or Mike Napoli at the plate. And Mike Fulmer still on the hill.
Yeah, only thrown 82 pitches through 5. What did you say it was at game time? About 84 a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
Now it's up to 90, and it's still looks like it's going to climb.
Now the 1-2. Down low. Fastball up and in, full count.
Yeah, 0-2 to 3-2.
Swings and pops it up. Shallow left, in comes Upton. 1 down. Swing it into Summer tomorrow. Yankees in for a 4-game series. Our coverage begins with Indians live at 6:30. First pitch at 7 right here on Sports Time Ohio. We're streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Swing into Summer presented by Miller Lite. Jose Ramirez, he doubled and scored in the 2nd, walked, but was stranded at 3rd in the 4th. Fastball took off. 1-1. And a hard ground ball to second. Kinsler will throw him out. 2 down. Chisenhall drove in a run with a sacrifice fly in the 2nd inning. He flied to center back in the 4th. And a shot foul 3rd base side. Works the other side of the field with a foul ball, and it's quickly 0-2. Up high with it. Indians jumped out early, led it 2-0, but Detroit turned the tables in the 4th and 5th innings. Broken bat, 1 hopper. Indians go 1-2-3. 6 complete, 8-2 Detroit. Injury Lawyers at Elk and Elk. Proud partner of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. By Ford, built Ford tough. And by KeyBank. Use the red key. Member FDIC. Zach McAllister will be the third Indians pitcher to work this afternoon as he comes on in the 7th inning.
Hunter went an inning and a third, struck out 2 in his relief appearance. McAllister will get some work. He hasn't pitched since Saturday in Toronto.
Top of the order, Ian Kinsler, Cameron Maybin, Miguel Cabrera. And a pitch in for a strike.
Three straight off speed pitches by McAllister.
And the 2-1 pulled foul. And a ground ball in the hole, base hit for Ian Kinsler. So he's starting to heat up after the Indians held him 0 for 7. He's now 3 for his last 3.
Yes, he is. Singles. And he stayed on this fastball, taking it to right. It was away. He stayed right on the pitch, takes it the other way. That's the 8th hit for the Tigers today, and Kinsler has 3 of them.
Well, it's 3-0 now to Cameron Maybin, who has suddenly found patience. He had a 2-run homer in the 4th, and he walked in a critical 5th inning. Turn of events with 2 outs. Next man up, Miguel Cabrera, hit a 2-run single. 2 batters later, and Castellanos a 3-run homer to cap a 5-run 5th.
Trying to come back now on Maybin. Back to 3-1.
Line drive, base hit, center field. So back-to-back singles off McAllister here in the 7th inning. This is where the game changed in the 5th. No, not this. It's that goofy double play at first base.
Really no room. Kipnis stepped on his foot.
Now they're saying his foot never touched the base. Right there you can clearly see it looks like his foot does engage first base as it's also stepping on the guy's foot. So it just looks like a bad, not that it matters in the grand scheme of things, but again, it's a case where instant replay does not appear to be perfect either. The replay official said the foot never touched the base.
Yeah, and I don't know what that was. He beat the throw. I mean, he was there before the throw. They had to be saying that he never touched the base.
That's what I just said. That's what he said. But I don't understand how you can clearly, definitively state that when it looked like on that replay angle, the front hit the part of his foot before it crushed the guy's foot. Looked like it caught the front part of the bag.
Well, both guys are lucky that they're in the game and they didn't really hurt themselves with the way it appeared. He had no place to get to the bag.
Yeah.
McAllister digging a hole for himself now.
Watch the heel of Kipnis. That looks like it's catching part of the bag.
So hard to see, so hard to call.
It also seems rather ridiculous that if a guy's foot is on top of the bag and you've got nowhere else to go but to stomp on his foot, then you shouldn't be penalized as a runner for the guy's foot being in the middle of the bag.
Don't you have to leave an open path for him to touch the base if you don't have the baseball?
You do at home plate.
I know. But that's neither here nor there. That's a go. Doesn't matter. Right now it's bases loaded, nobody out for McAllister.
He's given up back-to-back singles, and then he walks Cabrera to load him up for Victor Martinez, who scorched a double to center in the 4th. And they had a hard hit ball up the middle that handcuffed Lindor in the 5th. And that's fouled off. Left-hander T.J. House is up in the Cleveland bullpen.
It goes back to when even Victor was playing here. Bases loaded. He's never met a pitch he never liked to swing at.
Especially if it's 3-0.
Yeah, but
forget about it.
He sees those ribeyes out there.
Down and in, 2 balls and a strike.
This is the type of game where McAllister should be able to come in and get some work in. You know, he did start that game on Saturday in Toronto. They didn't have anybody. You know, everybody was gassed out. He only went the 1 inning, gave up the 3-run home run. So now they're trying to bring him into a situation where at least you can get some work in an 8-2 ball game. And this is not the kind of work they were looking for. He's having a tough time throwing strikes. 18 pitches, 12 of them have been balls. And this is where you got to be aggressive and go out there and throw strikes. They're going to be swinging the bats. So Callaway cannot like what he sees.
Yeah, when you only throw a third of your pitches for strikes, that's not going to work anytime. Ripped foul. Now the payoff pitch. He popped him up.
That should not get it done, I wouldn't think.
Kinsler tagging at third, but he's not coming home. One away. In the fifth inning, Nick Castellanos capped a 5-run burst with a 3-run homer. That's what you call a backbreaker.
Well, that was, yeah, they already had 2 in the inning, and all that started with 2 outs. Back in the 5th inning, he struck out the first 2 guys, and then they put a 5 spot on the board. That hurts.
Blowing away, ball 1. "16 home runs, now 48 runs batted in for Castellanos. And he lifts this one high in the air over near the line. Lonnie Chisenhall, no, can't get there. Not without a ticket. Two on, or bases loaded, 1 out. Kinsler at third, Maben at second, Cabrera at first. And Castellanos chases one, 1-2.
Taking a long time to get the sign here.
Now the 1-2. Castellanos strokes a fly ball to deep center, way back and off the wall. Kinsler scores, Maben scores, Cabrera stops at third. It's a 2-run double for Castellanos. He's driven in 5 runs for Detroit here today.
Well, the pitch before, McAllister was able to get him to swing at a slider that was not on the plate. And then this one, he left it in the zone, and Castellanos was able to hit that one. You see, it didn't have the bite. It was in the zone, and it's off the wall for a double. So they add on. They make it a 10-2 game, and McAllister's inning is over.
Here comes Terry Francona. That's going to be it for McAllister. Goes 1/3 of an inning and gives up 3 hits, walked a batter. He's given up 2 runs. He's responsible for the 2 aboard. And we'll see the return of left-hander TJ House when we come back. district. But the Indians, well, it's been a rough day at the ranch. And now TJ House comes on, making his first appearance out of the bullpen. Former starter. They moved him to the bullpen at AAA Columbus just because he wasn't having any real success as a starter. And TJ told me, he said, you know, velocity's come up, and he said, I've just been throwing a lot of strikes, attacking hitters. You don't know where this experiment's going to lead to. Maybe it's a real positive for a long-term solution.
I thought he always threw a lot of strikes, even when he was a starter, but he was a ground ball guy. You know, you'd get base runners. They always seemed to pitch well with traffic on the bases. He was able to get the ground ball double play. And like a lot of starters, you get into that bullpen and you know you don't have to go 6, 7 innings. You get to pick up a little velocity along the way.
And he said, you know, I asked him when they moved me to the bullpen, I said, do you want, you know, do I need to concentrate more on a strikeout pitch to get strikeouts? They said, you just get outs. We don't care how.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's always been, as you said, a pitch to contact guy.
Yes.
So.
I mean, he never had a devastating slider where he matched up and he was awesome against lefties or anything like that. He's just a guy that changes speeds, keep you off balance, put the ball in play, and get outs on 3 or less pitches.
Well, because he's built up as a starter, could be a guy that gives you a nice option for multiple innings, too. That sounds really good on paper, but you know, the minute you go from starter into the bullpen, a lot more wear and tear on that arm all of a sudden too. You're used to going every 5 days. Now all of a sudden you may be up 2-3 days in a row, and then you're down a couple of days.
Well, if you go from your routine of having that starter's routine where you can do whatever you want to, you have a chance to pitch every day.
Dialed back.
But he's coming in throwing strikes.
Now the 1-2 offering. Swung out and missed. And TJ House strikes out Upton. 2 down in the inning.
Come back and take a look at this on our AT&T high-speed replay. Gets the strikeout, the second out of the inning. And there you go, an elevated fastball, and he's able to get it by him. So now he's has an opportunity to keep the 2 runners stranded that he inherited here.
Moya takes. Well, you know, this is, as you said, the interesting thing when you don't have that sweeping breaking ball or anything devastating for a left-hander. That ball struck pretty well. Left center in the gap. Base hit. Moya has a single, but 2 runs will score. Those runs charged to McAllister as he gives up 4 1/3 of an inning today. And it's 12-2
Well, you hit that ball right where they were in the alley in left center field. That ball was pretty much middle of the plate. Didn't get it away. Couldn't get it off the end of the bat. So the base hit closes the book on McAllister and makes it a 12-2 ball game. That sounds like yesterday's game, except it was in the Indians' favor. It was 12-1.
The suffering Tigers fans who have eaten a lot of crow this year and made the trip here are certainly enjoying this today.
Yeah, looking first win of 2016. Tigers will head out after today's game and go into Toronto for the head into the break.
And the Blue Jays go into tonight's game against Kansas City having won 4 in a row. Saltalamacchia strikes out. The inning is over. House fans a pair, but the Tigers pull away 12-2.
To the ballpark on Sunday. It'll be KeyBank Kids Fun Day. 5,000 fans 12 and under will receive a WB Mason toy truck. Plus, you can also run the bases after the game. Just go to Indians.com for more details.
Shane Green coming on to pitch for Detroit here in the 7th. He's got the bottom third of the Indians order due up. Juan Uribe, Tyler Naquin, and Chris Jimenez. And a pitch outside, ball 1 to Uribe. Hit in the air, center field. Cameron Maybin flies in to grab it, 1 down. Michael Fulmer, the Tigers starter today, made 95 pitches. It's his 9th straight start, allowing 1 or no earned runs.
Yeah. He's been on a roll. Like I said, he's been their best pitcher this year. He minimize the damage early against the Indians offense, to just keep it, close, and then waited, and that offense erupted in the 4th and 5th innings.
Tyler Naquin looks at a strike. Grounded out in the 2nd inning. He singled in the 4th. Naquin takes a strike. Fastball in there, 1-2 the count. Low with that off-speed pitch, and 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lifted out of play. Well, the Indians will welcome in the New York Yankees tomorrow. Can't remember the last time the Yankees came into town in 4th place in the American League's Eastern Division. They currently sit 7 games off the pace and begin the day a game under 500.
Yeah, they're playing tonight in Chicago. Pineda against Gonzalez, and then they'll make their trek into Cleveland. I don't know if they're going to get him.
No chance. That ball had some weird spin on it, and Iglesias, it was going to take a perfect play to get him anyway. Let's go down to Andre Nadu, who has a special guest with him.
Thanks, guys. I wanted to say congratulations to Mrs. Eliani. You're the Boys and Girls Club. You're the Youth of the Year. What does that mean to you?
A lot. It got me a lot of scholarships, and I can go to college. I got $10,000 in scholarships.
How fun has it been to sit down here? You also threw out the first pitch. How good did that feel to do that today?
It felt good because I wanted to throw out the first pitch in the game since I remember starting playing baseball, which was I was about like 6 years old.
So what pitch did you throw, and how fun was it to be out there in front of this crowd?
It was really fun. I've never been in front of so many people before.
Well, with everything that's happened with the Boys and Girls Club, what do you plan on doing and going forward and giving back as well?
Well, I'm going to college for sports sciences, and I plan on playing softball on the team too. And I plan to have a good career so I could get back to the Boys and Girls Club.
Well, congratulations. We appreciate you taking the time out today, and enjoy it down here.
Thank you.
All right, back to you guys up in the booth.
All right, thanks a lot, Andre. And congratulations, that young lady. Chris Jimenez at the plate.
It really is nice, the Boys and Girls Club, to help her out, and you give back. Did you ever go to a Boys and Girls Club in your younger day?
No.
I happened to it back in Niagara Falls, and you get to play, get to do a lot.
I know when CC Sabathia was here, it was a big point of emphasis with his charitable contributions. Swung out and missed. Jimenez down on strikes, 2 away. Two down, top of the order, Carlos Santana. Grounded out on the first, singled in the third. He walked in the 5th. Abraham Almonte has moved to the on-deck circle to bat for Jason Kipnis. That means Ramirez will more than likely be moving to second base, and Almonte will go into the outfield. upstairs, 1-1. Ball and 2 strikes. Hard hit ground ball, and with the shift, he is thrown out by Castellanos. The inning is over. Tigers rolling today by 10. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Two innings to go with the Indians down 10. And Jose Iglesias will lead off for Detroit, while the Indians send Abraham Almonte to left and move Jose Ramirez from left to second. Iglesias 0 for 3 here today. Well, you know, when you win 24 out of 32, games like this are you just you almost look around like you don't know what to do.
Well, yesterday's game, it was in the other direction. The Indians still win it. You know, these are games that, you know, they're out of hand, they're out of control early. There's not much you can do. You finish them out. But for the Tigers, this is something they desperately needed against the Indians, because they have been beaten all year long, and they turn the tide.
Almonte got a great jump on that ball and made the catch, 1 down. You go back to that series finale in Toronto when the Indians got beat up 17-1. These are those games, though, and as you said, a lot like last night, the game gets to a certain point and you know there's still a lot of game left, but
there's no game.
There's really, you're just sort of going through the motions almost.
You know what, you go through this and you look at it and you say, okay, we got to take our butt kicking, which we're taking it today, but you know, it counts as 1 loss. It's no different than a 2-1 game, 3-2 game, whatever. It counts as 1 loss, and you look at it this way, they still win the series 2 out of 3.
Mike Aviles getting an opportunity to bat here. Bouncer towards second. Ramirez throws him out, 2 down. Well, that'll bring up Cameron Maben.
Here's a guy that got it going for him today. Second time through, he hit the 2-run home run off Josh Tomlin to tie the ball game. That hit the foul pole. We didn't even see it hit. We just saw it deflect and come down.
You know, you look back on that too, and it was a weird looking. I think it was a breaking ball, and it looked like he was going to have a hard time even keeping it fair. But
right.
Somehow he did, right down the line. And just caught a glancing blow off that pole for the home run.
Well, he had a rough night last night. He struck out 3 times, hit into a double play. He's had a good afternoon today. He's 2 for 3. He scored 3 runs. He tied the game back in the 4th inning.
And a chopper to short. Lindor throws him out. The Tigers go 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the 8th in Cleveland. Game is coming up Tuesday in San Diego at Petco Park. All the game's biggest stars will be there. 7:30 on Fox. You can watch it on Fox Sports Go. Danny Salazar and Francisco Lindor will represent the Indians. Miguel Cabrera will be the lone representative from Detroit. Though between now and then there could be some changes in the roster. You never know with injuries, pitching rotation situations.
It's true.
Left-hander Kyle Ryan coming on for Detroit. Romine at first, Aviles at second. Abraham Almonte. He takes a called strike. And a line drive base hit to left field for Almonte. It'll go to the wall. And he's going for extra bases. And he'll be in there standing with a double.
Almonte picked on a breaking ball right there to get his first hit. This will be at bat number 8 for him, so he gets the first hit will be a double. There's the breaking ball. Comes in and hits that to left field. Gets to the wall. 7th hit for the Indians.
Lindor pops the pitch up. Foul and out of play. Lindor got jammed, but he pops it to center, and Maybin runs it down. 1 away. You know, when Anthony Gose got sent down to AAA Toledo when Maybin made his season debut after, remember, he fractured his wrist, so he didn't start till it was the middle of May. The word out of Detroit was, look, we love Gose's defense. We know he can play center field. They wanted him to work on his offense, get his swing back. Watching Maybin, I know he maybe short-armed that ball in left center earlier today, but he's got good wheels. He can go get the ball in center, and the way he swung the bat, I don't think they'll be looking for Anthony Gose anytime soon.
No, he's fit into the number 2 hole for Detroit very nicely. And that ball he was running over early into the game, that was, I think, sun aided. Playing center, you're running to left center, you're almost running it right into the sun.
And while Steven Moya in right field shows some promise, once they get J.D. Martinez back, there's no doubt. But he goes right back into right field. Moya probably goes back to the minors. Hit hard but foul.
Yeah, that's, we didn't really touch base with that this series as far as J.D. Martinez goes. That's a big right-handed bat out of the middle part of the lineup that hits 5th for him. I mean, Moya's come up and he swung the bat pretty well for him. But he's just filling in until they can get J.D. back, that's for sure.
Yan Gomes fouls this off. Don't forget that coming up Thursday, after the Indians play the Yankees, roughly 10:30 p.m. or whenever the ball game wraps up, Sports Time Ohio will reveal Yan Gomes revealed. Part of the Indians programming here on Sports Time Ohio. Strikes out, 2 down. That special on Gomes will replay on Friday, July the 8th at 6 p.m. Andre Knott will take you down to Tennessee, where Yan makes his home, and it's behind the scenes with the Tribe's backstop. Here's Jose Ramirez, 1 for 2 on the afternoon. He doubled and scored the first run of the game. Ryan, a check of the runner at second, Almonte. And he straightens him up inside. Just over 24,000 on this 12 o'clock matinee special.
was a nice crowd today, although they filtered out of here. You can't blame them the way it turned out.
Yeah, the Tigers kind of ran away with this one today. Blew it open with a 5-run fifth and iced it with 4 in the 7th. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Low, and you see the good patient approach by Ramirez. Even in a blowout game, he's still staying true to the hitter he has been all season long. And now the 2-2 inside, hit him. Hopefully that was just a glancing blow. They can't afford to lose this guy the way he's played this year. Maybe a funny bone deal. Got him on the elbow.
Oh yeah, and that back elbow, and that's not funny there. He'll take his base.
He's okay, and he'll
Yep.
stay in the game. So 2 on, 2 out, and Lonnie Chisenhall to bat. And a pitch over the outside corner for a strike. Swung out and missed. And Lonnie fouls that off to stay alive. Ryan checks the runner at second, and the 0-2 offering is a soft liner out toward left. Run down by Iglesias, and that will end the inning. 8 in the books. Still Tigers up by 10.
Impressive field today. Well, this one belongs to the Tigers after the Indians won 11 straight this year. Looks like Detroit's going to finally get one. So we welcome you to the corner along with Jensen Lewis, Al Pulowski, and Boyd Jensen. After the Indians took an early 2-0 lead, it's been all Detroit.
Nick Castellanos 5 RBIs today, but little silver lining. You won the series, and no matter what today, win or lose, Kansas City and Detroit, they will not pick up any ground in the Central since Monday.
All right. We will have the Indians live show for you coming up in just moments. It's brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. For the 9th inning call, let's go back upstairs. Here are Matt and Rick, fellas.
All right, thanks, Al. Here in the 9th inning, Jeff Manship on for the 28th time this year. And he's got Andrew Romine leading off, taking up high ball 1. Two and 0. A foul right back. Josh Tomlin got the start today for Cleveland, looking for his 10th win of the year. Instead, he's staring at loss number 2 in what would be his second shortest start of the year. The only other time he lost this season was his shortest start. That came against Texas back on May 30th when he went 3 2/3 and gave up 8 runs. Today he went 4 2/3 and gave up 8 runs. Those 6 were earned. Uncharacteristic of Tomlin. It was just a big inning that got away from him, especially when he had 2 outs, nobody on base.
That was the thing. They came back though in the 4th. They tied the game. They actually took the lead for only the 2nd time in the 12 games that these teams have played.
Oh, and nailed Manship. Santana's got the ball, but no play.
Where did that hit him?
Right on the leg, I think, the right leg. Not sure where it caught him. Might have been on the backside, like on the hamstring area.
That ball was hit hard. He wasn't going to walk him. There's a line drive, and it comes back. And yeah, right on the thigh, right in the back of the hammy. You're right. There's a little cushion there. And that ball, you know, it didn't deflect far. Santana couldn't get it in time. He'll get a couple of warm-ups to see how it feels.
Recapping our keys to the game, brought to you by Mazda. Indians wanted to get to Detroit early. They did. Put up 2 runs early, but one of the rare times this year they were not able to capitalize on an early lead. And Miguel Cabrera finally got around. He finally made the Indians pay. They had absolutely handcuffed him in the first 11 meetings this year, but he got a 2-run single as a key part of that 5-run 5th inning. Pat O'Brien play of the game was the Miguel Cabrera 2-out 2-run single off the wall, because that made it a 5-2 lead. Gave him some breathing room, and then after the costly, it was ruled an error. It was a tough play by Lindor, but the ball had some funny spin, and it kept the inning alive. And Castellanos came up, and you just felt like this. Okay, you're out of the inning. Oh, it's a little bit of a letdown, and the next thing you know, he bombs a 3-run homer, and it was pretty much game over at that point at 8-2. Even though there was still plenty of baseball to be played, it just felt like the air was sucked out of the balloon. Ground ball. Manship has it. He'll go to second. There's one on the first. It's a double play. That'll go 1-6-3. And it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Castellanos, we told you about the 3-run homer. That was a big blow in the 5th. He also added some icing to the cake with a 2-run double in the 7th. So he has a 5 RBI day after he sat out last night's game with flu-like symptoms. Down low. In for a strike. He chased one that time, 1-2. Chops it foul, third base side. Isn't that something that the Cubs had all 4 of their infielders named starters in the All-Star game?
Yeah, that is. That's a rarity.
Your 1963 Cardinals, the only other team to do it.
Well, the fans voting for that, so they had a lot of help around the country.
Yeah. Swung on and missed. He strikes him out to end the inning. Last half of the ninth coming up. Saturday at 3:30 in a game you can only see on FS1. So be sure to tune in to FS1 Saturday for Indians Yankees. If you don't have it, find somebody who does. Rick and I will be back with you on Sunday to take you into the All-Star break. But the only way you'll see the Tribe and the Yankees Saturday is on FS1 or Fox Sports Go if you have that app too. Bobby Parnell. 5th appearance this year. He just got called up. Buck Farmer Sucked up some innings last night from the beleaguered bullpen, but he was sent out.
Yeah. As it
Thanks
so
for your
often
time,
happens.
and goodbye.
We need some innings. We're going to get all we can out of you.
31-year-old Bobby Parnell. He's pitched extensively in his career for the New York Mets. But boy, is he a guy that's dealt with some injury stuff too. At one point he had a herniated disc in his neck. Then he had Tommy John surgery, right shoulder tendonitis. And Uribe pops him up. One away. We'll bring up Tyler Naquin. Last year Parnell pitched in 30 games with the Mets, but his ERA was a frightful .638. Fouled out of play. You think back though to the last time he was healthy before he had to have the Tommy John surgery. In 2013 he pitched in 49 games that year and had a 2.16 ERA. The year before he had pitched in 74 games and had a 2.49 ERA. Back out of play. Upstairs. Play. Boy, you know, the story around baseball with regards to pitching is velocity. Velocity is up everywhere. Everybody's got these guys that can just come in and blow it. And I saw a story here that the Pirates are going to promote their top pitching prospect, Tyler Glasnow, who throws 99 miles an hour with a curveball and a changeup.
Wow. They've been having to make some call-ups there.
Well,
in Pittsburgh, with, you know, some injuries.
The big kid Garrett Cole was hurt.
Yep.
Jameson Taillon, we just showed you a little while ago, he's on the DL. This kid's 22 years old and has a 1.78 ERA through 96 minor league innings at AAA this year. A 3-2. And Naquin draws a one-out walk. And the batter is Chris Gimenez. He started his day with a single to center and scored. Since then, a ground out, a strikeout. And a ground ball right back to him. The second for one on the first, and game-ending double play. So the Tigers squeak out of town with the finale as they win it 12-2. And the Indians' 13-game home win streak comes to an end. But the Tribe still atop the Central Division standings with a mark of 51-33 as they await the New York Yankees, who come to town for a 4-game series beginning tomorrow. Detroit will go to 45.